In this video, we're going to go over the 6 keys on how to start your own business. If you're thinking about starting your own business or you've currently started your own business but you're struggling to make it work, this video will be very beneficial to you. Now, I should warn you that it's very important that you have all 6 of these keys. Some people, to be honest, they'll have 4 or 5 of these keys, but they'll be missing 1 or 2, and that in and of itself could be a reason why they are struggling. You could struggle for years if you don't have all 6 of these. So I would highly recommend paying really close attention to this video, because as soon as you know what these 6 keys are, you can use these and apply them to either start your own business or have a lot more success if you already have a business in a lot shorter period of time. So let's get to it. The first thing is to commit. Now, this might sound a little bit crazy, but the first thing is to commit. You have to commit that you're going to start your own business. It might be a little bit scary. There's going to be some uncertainty. You might not be sure if it's going to work or not, even though if you do these 6 things, the chance of it working goes up a lot, but you have to commit. A lot of people, and I see this because I've been teaching people how to start businesses successfully for years now, and I've been successfully doing it. The last 2 businesses I started, I've made over $100,000 in profit with each business, in a year. I see a lot of people, they sit on the sidelines. They'll watch YouTube videos. They'll watch videos on Facebook. They'll think about stuff. They'll contemplate stuff. They might do it for weeks or months or even years. I know some people, they do it for years. They want to start a successful business, but they're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of failure, so they never actually get started. If you want to start your own business, the first step is you have to commit. You have to make a decision in a moment that says, you know what? I'm going to do this. And not only am I going to do this, I'm not going to dabble in this. I'm going to go full force with this, whatever that business is. Number 2, it is recommended to find a business that works, that has a proven blueprint you can copy. This is actually good news, because I used to think way back in the day that in order to start my own business, it was going to have to be really risky. I was going to have to spend a lot of money, and I was going to have to come up with some invention or some groundbreaking idea. And what I've learned from multiple mentors and from my own experience is you can make money doing that. But a lot of times you're going to waste a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of headache. There's actually a lot of businesses out there that are proven to work. That basically means they have a blueprint that you could copy. And when you copy that blueprint, the chance of your success goes through the roof. This is why McDonald's is so popular. McDonald's is so popular because they have a proven blueprint. They have certain foods that are known to be popular and sell. They figured out what price to price those foods at. So we sell it and we make a profit, but we don't price it too high where we lose the competitors. They have a certain method for, how many pickles go on the Big Mac, and how big should the drinks be, and where do you get the items from, and the best temperature of the freezer to store the meat, and how often should the cleaning person clean it, all these crazy things. But the reason McDonald's has such a high success rate, it's so popular, because it's a proven business model. If you were to open up a McDonald's, you don't have to figure out that stuff. What am I going to sell? Where am I going to get it from? How much am I going to pay each of the people working for me? How am I going to figure out, how to take people from the dry and get people's food correctly? How am I going to figure out how to deal with, situations and issues that come up? It's a proven blueprint. Now, McDonald's, I believe it's $500,000 is what you need liquid. So essentially you need like $500,000 in your checking account before you can open up a McDonald's and a bunch of other things. The good news is there's other businesses out there that aren't like that you can get started, almost for free or with very little money and have massive success with. But regardless, number 2 is I would recommend find a business that works, because there are lots of businesses out there that are proven to work, and you can basically get the blueprint and use it to make $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7,000 a week. There's lots of businesses out there that you can use to make $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, which is nice. You just copy the blueprint that's already proven. Number 3, invest time and money into it. This is the big problem that I see. I see people, they don't like their job. They don't like where they're at in life. They want to make more money, but they don't want to buy a program. They don't want to read any books. They don't want to hire any mentors. They don't want to watch any YouTube videos. I mean, it's right. We're not asking you to do a lot, guys. We're not saying, we're not saying give McDonald's $500,000. We're saying, watch some YouTube videos, read a few books. Maybe there's a program or two out there that you'll buy. Now, I'm not, selling, I sell stuff on Amazon. I don't have a program that, so I'm not indirectly trying to pitch. I don't have a program that teaches people how to make money on Amazon, but I'm saying there's different programs out there. Like, there's different ways to do it. Like, let's say I was going to start a random business. I was going to start a dry cleaning business. Well, what I would do is I'd go on the internet and I'd see if there's programs out there that I could buy that could teach me how to start a dry cleaning business. I don't want to have to figure it out myself. I might hire some mentors. I'm probably going to watch a bunch of videos. I'm going to see if there's some books out there that I could get for probably 10 to 20 bucks. Books are usually not that expensive, on people that have started successful dry cleaning businesses, or maybe just business in general that I could use to make sure. I don't want to have to test out a bunch of stuff. I don't want to have to do trial and error. I want to find someone, goes back to step number 2, that's done the work, that has the blueprint, and I'm like, all right, this is how many square feet I need it to have. This is the type of area I need it to have. This is how many, I said a laundromat business, right? Or dry cleaning business. This is the dry cleaning equipment that I need. This is the program I need that's going to take money. I just want to find someone that's already done it, give them some money, or spend some time to learn from them. This is like a really important thing. Don't underestimate this. Again, a lot of people, they want to make $100,000 a year, but they don't want to spend a penny, and they don't want to spend any time. Well, okay, if you're not going to spend, and usually you got to spend a little bit of both, right? Now, if you don't have a lot of money, that doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money. Sometimes you could go through a few books, depending on the business, and that's good enough. Sometimes there's not books on the subject, but sometimes, buy a few books from Amazon. You read them and you're going to be substantially higher up than, where you were before. There's Facebook groups you can join. Again, there's a lot. Usually you can find pretty much any topic on YouTube, free YouTube videos that have really good information that you could use to apply to the business. Number 4, stick with it through the learning curve. I had a friend of mine a while ago, and she was selling like makeup products on eBay. And it was in like a couple weeks, she actually started making pretty good money. But then she gave up because she didn't think she was making enough money as quickly as she could. And I'm like, listen, you're doing really good. There's a lot of people that start businesses. It's not too common for a traditional business, for the traditional business not to make money in the first 6 months, a year, 2 years that it's open. You're already making some money in the first few weeks. Stick with it. Stay with it. Stay with the course. Keep taking action, right? Keep following through. To go from like nothing to $100,000 a year in profit in like a month, it's kind of hard. To do it in a few years with the business that you're sticking with, where you're following a blueprint, you're reading books, you're watching YouTube videos, whatever it is, not too difficult to do. Stick with it through the learning curve and understand that you're going to run into problems. A lot of people don't understand this. Like when I had a job and I pushed carts at Walmart, I used to push carts at Walmart for I think it was $8.10 an hour. I didn't really have to think. I didn't really have to solve any problems. I showed up for work, clocked in, went out to the parking lot, gathered carts, brought them inside, gathered more carts, brought them inside, gathered more carts, brought them inside, took a lunch, gathered more, and then I went home. I didn't really have to think. I didn't really have to solve problems. I didn't really run into challenges. As a business owner, that completely changes. 180 degrees. If you're going to start your own business, you're going to run into problem after problem after problem after problem. Understand that that's okay. That's not a bad thing. But don't quit. Don't give up. Solve those problems and keep moving forward. Solve those problems and keep moving forward. You're going to run into problems. It's going to be a bunch of them. That's how business works. What you really need to do to be successful in business is just stay consistent, solve enough problems over a period of time, and then basically that's you generally when you start making money. Number 6, don't fall off the ship. Aaron, have you lost your mind? You are not on a ship. Guys, I'm not on a ship, but don't fall off the ship. So what does don't fall off the ship mean? So I see some people, and they try out this business for a few months, and they try out this business for a month or two, and they try out this business for 6 months, and they jump around from all these different businesses. Guys, I know there's a bunch of different businesses out there. You could flip homes. You could do apartment complexes. You could do, wholesaling with homes. You could do Forex. You could do Shopify. You could do Amazon. You could do Amazon FBA. You could do Amazon drop shipping. There's a gazillion different businesses. We could spend hours talking about all the different businesses. I know some people, there's MLM companies, there's sales, there's all sorts of businesses. You could get leads for businesses. We could go on and on. I know some people that for years, they'll jump around from business to business, never making any real money. They'll actually they'll be doing pretty much everything else. They'll commit. Number one, they'll find a business that works. Those businesses that have business models that works. Number three, they'll invest time and money. They'll buy a program. They'll get a mentor. They'll read books. They'll watch YouTube videos. Number four, they'll stick with it through the learning curve. Number five, they'll solve some problems, but they don't stay with it long enough. They solve some problems. They stick with it a little bit, but then they jump to something else. And when you jump to something else, you have to start all over. You have to start learning the business over from scratch. So it's almost like you need to solve enough problems and have enough and be consistent enough for a period of time to get to a point where the business really takes off. And in order to get to this point, you got to stay really committed, solve enough problems, and stay consistent over, let's say a year or 2 years period of time. And what people will do is they'll start something for a few months, and then they jump to something else. And when you jump to something else, you have to start learning all over. And then they do that, and then they do that. And they never stay with anything long enough. Consistency, enough problems, solving more problems, learning more, solving to really get to the point where their business takes off. Don't fall off the ship. Find a business that works, that has a blueprint. Commit first, which is number one. Number two, find a business that works and has a blueprint. Invest time and or money into it. Sometimes it's both. Sometimes you can actually just invest time. You don't have to spend money, but generally it's both. Number four, stick with it through the learning curve. Number five, understand that you're going to run into problems. Solve those problems. Don't give up. Don't slow down. And that leads us to number four, don't fall off the ship and stay consistent. Stay consistent, keep taking action, keep solving problems, and keep sticking with the business through the learning curve. That is the 6 keys on how to start your own business.